Oh, by the title of the video, we're going to be talking about the Portland Trailblazers and why I think they are wasting Damian Lillard's prime. The Portland Trailblazers for the past few years is a classic case of being a good team, but not a good enough team to win a championship. They're not a championship contender team. They haven't missed the playoffs since Damian Lillard's rookie season, and yet for the last few years, they haven't really been a contender for a championship at all. They lost in the first round 5 times. 2 times they made it to the second round, and only made it to the conference finals once in 2019. But that one conference final run, they lost to a KD-less Golden State Warriors while having an 18-point lead in 3 of those 4 games. And for the past few years, the Portland Trailblazers haven't really put the talent around Damian Lillard for them to really be a championship contender team. They're, like I said in the beginning, they're a classic case of a team that just tries to run it back with the same core and actually expect different results. And like I said, there's not much more Dame can do. And it was more clear during this season, during the 2020-21 season. CJ McCollum did miss a good chunk of the season with his fractured foot, and Yusuf Nurkic had a down year. Damian Lillard still carried them to a 6th seed place in the Western Conference, which is good. But what was bad is they lost to a Denver Nuggets team without their second best player, Jamal Murray, and without Will Barton, while Dame had a historic run, averaging 34 points, 4 rebounds, 10 assists on 46, 45, 94 splits. And then he had one of the greatest games I've ever seen in Game 5 when he had 55 points, 6 rebounds, 10 assists, made 17 out of 24 field goals made, and was 12 for 17 from the three-point line. And he only missed 1 free throw that night. There's not much more Dame can do that could lead this team to a championship run, and Dame knows that. He even said it in a press conference. Dame, quote, "Obviously where we are, is it good enough to win a championship? If it's not good enough to get out of the first round series with 2 of their best 3 or 4 players now on the floor." So easily Damian Lillard himself knows that their team is not good enough to win a championship, and there's gonna have to be a change up, a shake up on the roster. But I feel like Damian Lillard is not being completely honest with himself or being honest with the roster. You're not going to win a championship with the Portland Trailblazers. It's just that simple. They don't have the assets, the trade pieces to win a championship. In this offseason, they lost Enes Kanter, Carmelo Anthony, and Zach Collins, and replaced them with Cody Zeller, Ben McLemore, and Tony Snell. Those aren't upgrades to me. That's downgrading, right? That's downgrading to me. That's not good enough for a championship contender team. They did re-sign Norman Powell, 5 years, $90 million deal, but he's a 6'3" small forward. And Portland Trailblazers already had the worst defense. Well, actually, I lied. They had the second worst defense in the entire league. They have Damian Lillard, who's 6'3" at point guard, CJ McCollum, who's 6'1" at shooting guard, and Norman Powell, who's 6'3" at small forward. Is just not going to work. Those 3 are not going. If those 3 are your 3 best players on your team, you're not good enough to win a championship. Even if you're able to even trade CJ McCollum for Ben Simmons, that's still not going to be able to make you a championship contender team. Damian Lillard needs to leave Portland if he really wants to contend for a championship. You know, and if people are saying that I just want Dame to leave Portland because I want him to join a different team, that's not true. I like the way Giannis won a championship with the Milwaukee Bucks. He sticked with that team from the beginning and won a championship, but these are completely 2 different cases. The Milwaukee Bucks had the assets and they made the right picks in the draft to get them in the position where they are. Where Portland, for the last 8 years, have been just making wrong decisions after wrong decisions. One good thing I did like that they made in this offseason was fire Terry Stotts and added Chauncey Billups, who I believe is going to be a better coach than Terry Stotts and is an upgrade. But even if you put Greg Popovich and Phil Jackson in their prime, that's not going to make this team a championship contender team. Their defense is just too bad. I don't see how adding a coach is going to make this team now all of a sudden a contender. It's the Portland Trailblazers need to rebuild, and they need to ship out CJ McCollum, and they need to ship out Dame. Dame needs to request a trade. You spent good 9 years, 10 years in Portland. It's time to leave, Dame. You're not winning a championship here. And I know Dame really wants to win a championship, but it's not going to happen as long as he's wearing a Portland TrailBlazers jersey. Dame wants to be a Dirk. He wants to be like how Giannis did it. He wants to be like a Kobe, but sometimes that situation doesn't always work. Let's look at Kevin Garnett's situation. He spent long years in Minnesota and it wasn't even close to a championship, made one conference finals run the same way Dame did, and then requested a trade and got shipped to Boston. And in his first year, he won a championship in Boston. And he even said he regret not asking a trade earlier. Dame needs to trade now. Damian Lillard is 31 years old. If he really wants to win a championship, it's not going to be in Portland anytime soon. So this was a quick, short video for y'all, man. The Portland TrailBlazers, they're wasting Damian Lillard's prime. Dame needs to leave immediately. So that's all I have for y'all for today. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. It's your boy Dream Hoops out.